It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 41 today. We thank you for being with us. We look forward to this time together. We know that you do too. Clothes-free living for all of the right reasons together for the next hour. How about that? Well, come on in. The pool is fine. The hot tub is going. The grill is going full blast. Fruit and vegetables off to the right. Your cold beverage off to the left. Hot drinks inside. Coffee, tea, etc. We have extra towels and suntan lotion. Just come on in. Come on in and enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. The only thing we ask in return is give us a review and a rating and subscribe on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, preferably Apple and YouTube. Those seem to be the go-to places, but just a quick review, a quick rating. 5 is the highest, by the way, just putting it out there. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, rate, review, subscribe. That's all we ask in return. Just take a few moments, and we appreciate that in advance. But let's kick off today's show with the latest report from ANDEE RODGERS and her husband, Tom.
Hi, this is ANDEE.
And this is Tom on the WINR on Wheels ImPerfect tour.
Glen Eden Sun Club was an absolute surprise for both Tom and I, as it's our first time here. We knew it was a resort with lots of amenities. However, we didn't realize to what extent those amenities would be. There's lots of pools, pickleball courts, tennis courts, but there's always something happening almost every day of the week, bringing people together in this community. You name it, they've got it. Karaoke, poker, water aerobics, meditation, Zumba, dance lessons. Tonight there's bunko, and there's so much more. So really something for everyone. When we arrived, we got a first-time visitor's welcome bag. On top of the information for the club for the weekend was a flyer for my workshop on Saturday, and they have just done an incredible job advertising for this event, which is likely why so many women came out Saturday afternoon. And I just really want to say a huge appreciation to Glen Eden for their efforts advertising for this event. We look forward to being back in Southern California so we can come back and spend more time with this incredible community of people. Until next time, this is ANDEE.
And this is Tom, and we'll see you down the road.
And there you go, the latest report from ANDEE RODGERS from WINR, Women in Nude Recreation from the American Association of Nude Recreation. We thank Mitch London for putting her in that position, and what a great job she is doing on the ImPerfect tour with her husband, Tom. We'll have another report from ANDEE and Tom on next week's show. You are listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 41. Hope you're enjoying the show. Hope you're enjoying clothes-free living during the show for all of the right reasons. And now let's get to my brief interview with the very terrific Mike Discom. He and his wife Fiona have the Narrow Boat Hotel in the UK. My interview with Mike Discom. So let's head over to the UK this morning. We're going to talk to Michael Discom. You might remember we had his wife on the show back in February, Fiona Discom. They own the Narrow Boat Hotel, which is called the Whistling Swan. Mike couldn't make it that day, so we wanted to get him on for a short interview today. We'll have a longer interview with Mike down the road, but let's welcome to the show from the UK, Michael Discom. Good morning, Mike. How are you today, sir?
Good morning. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, bit cloudy and cold here. As Brit like to talk about the weather first, so we'll get that out of the way.
That's true. A lot of rain and kind of damp and just chilly overall. That's what people basically say until it hits the summer, right?
Well, briefly, that moment, that week, that 2-week window we get.
That's true. But you do get outside more than 1 or 2 weeks a year without your clothes, I hope.
Yes, yeah, we make sure of that. So, yeah, whenever the sun's out, whenever we get an opportunity, we're out. And then, obviously, with us being naturist, we welcome naturist guests on board whenever possible.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to running the Naturist Hotel on a boat, while they're on the boat, talking to Fiona, you guys basically do all of the cooking for them. So it's not just a place to stay; it's a place to stay and be taken care of, including your yoga classes and her massage sessions, if they so desire. Right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we do everything on board the boat. We also try and park up at nice places to go for a walk and enjoy the Wiltshire countryside, because if you've not experienced it, Wiltshire is a beautiful county with lots of green rolling hills, which is why we have all the rain.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, it's been great to meet you this morning. Sorry we didn't meet you before when Fiona was on, but we did want to get you on the show, and then we'll have you on down the road for a longer interview. But before we let you go, how can people get a hold of you and Fiona and maybe book a trip on your narrowboat hotel?
Yeah, so the best way is through our website, nakedtravels.net. We've got our social media presence as well on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook group, Blue Sky as well. And that's all Naked Travels 1. And we give regular updates to what we're doing on there and post sort of pictures and stuff as well.
All right. And as I recall, I think you have some videos on Vimeo. Is that where I went?
Yeah. We've got our Vimeo channel as well. Unfortunately, we did have a YouTube, but YouTube kept taking us down, so we've given up on YouTube. And we've also got our Patreon account, which is where we show our latest videos and extended videos as well.
Okay. Well, very good to talk to you and meet you this morning. We've been talking to Michael Discom, he of the Mike and Fiona team, or Fiona and Mike, in their narrowboat hotel. Check it out. And Michael Discom, go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
And you, take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And as you can tell by the music that is sneaking in on us ever so slowly, it's time for the great, the terrific, the one and only, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, waltzing in this time, the very terrific, the over-the-top, clothes-free, and very happy, smiling Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I am doing really well today.
I didn't know that you could dance the waltz. I've seen disco. I've seen, various dances that, like hip-hop, you're pretty good at that. But waltz, that's kind of old-fashioned. You dug that out of the archives.
Well, that's how I learned when I was a small child in dance class. You had to learn to dance the waltz. And actually, it's a beautiful dance and it's fun to do. But finding people who have any desire for it, short of ballrooms, dancing, no, but it's fun.
Desire or knowledge how to actually do it. That's one of those things that have gone by the wayside, but we'll save that for another day.
Exactly.
Another short segment for us today. We got a tweet, a DM from a gentleman named Dan, all about the Bear Meadows Naturist Campground up in Calgary. And this summer, between July 4th and the 15th, they're doing a 12-day campout for anybody who wants to go to the Calgary Stampede. I'm going to ask you what that is in a moment. But if you want to stay somewhere close to the Calgary Stampede and be nude, you can do it there. And the price is $35 a night for an RV and $25 a night if you have a tent. We're going to have Dan and his wife on the show prior to that event. Did you ever, I can't think of the name of the movie. It starred Deborah Winger. It's probably at least 30 years old. There was a mechanical bull in a bar somewhere. Do you remember that movie?
I believe that is called Urban Cowboy.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
I remember that. Yeah. And apparently those are real deals. There was a big fad there for a while. Every bar had to have a mechanical bull. I never tried one. Did you?
I certainly never tried one. I like fast cars, but I'm not sure I like fast bulls.
Yeah, exactly. I think when I see people getting thrown off and the next day you see them in a cast or two or three, that's incentive enough to, Frank, I don't think so. Just let them enjoy it. And if they get good at it, fine. But I like, coffee on the back deck, enjoying the sun, clothes free, as opposed to getting tossed on a hard floor.
Exactly. And I mean, I think we should take a cue here from Urban Cowboy, because most urban boys are not going to be good at being a cowboy. Just not going to have the experience. So, but it was a fun movie.
That's right. All right, unfortunately, we have to go a little early today. We want to remind you, check this out, family-friendly campout, bearmeadows.ca, July 4th to the 15th. We'll have Dan and his wife on as we get closer to the Calgary Stampede. And Lisa Monroe, go out there and have a great clothes-free week. We'll talk to you next time.
You too, Frank. Take care, and we'll see you on the next show.
All right, sounds good. Let's get to part 2 now of my interview with the very terrific and highly prolific author on many topics, but also naturist fiction, Paul Z. Walker. He also collaborates with Will Forrest and Ted Bunn in their naturist anthologies. Part 2 of my interview with Paul Z. Walker. Well, we have one in the United States called Black's Beach. It's out by San Diego, Southern California. I've never been there, but I know people who went there back in the 70s and 80s. So what I'm about to say is a 70s or 80s story. I don't know if it's changed at all, but it was well known as a place where men went to get nude and frolic around and have a good time, clothes-free living. But women would show up and keep their clothes on, and they only went there to see all of the naked men. Now, that's totally different than naturism. That's gawking, like you mentioned, and it can get inappropriate quickly if people aren't careful about it. So I'm glad you got them off there, because that's not what it's there for. It's not a sideshow. You're not selling tickets. Or maybe you should sell tickets. You can make a lot of money, and then you could afford that house in Australia.
Oh, that's an idea. Yeah. Maybe next time and we have such an encounter with people, then we start thinking about that. I'll print some tickets.
That's right. So refreshments, you could make a whole industry out of this, Paul Z. Walker. Never thought of that before. Well, you have also on your website the Emma Nelson Mysteries. That appears to be all naturism. Is that correct?
It is correct. Yes,
Yeah,
it's something I just had to try. I'm always experimenting with new genres to write. And mystery was something I've never done before. Mystery is also very difficult to write because, contrary to normal life, in a mystery story, everything has to fit and everything has to be tied up.
Yeah.
In real life, there is something you don't know what happens, and even at the end of your life, you still don't know what happened. But in a story, in a mystery story, everything has to fit.
All right. Well, we've been talking to Paul Z. Walker. Now, Paul, we want to put your website out there. I'm afraid to try to pronounce it, so I'm going to let you handle that. Put your website out there. How can people get a hold of you? How can they find your books? Whatever you want to tell people, just go right ahead.
Okay, yeah. The name of my website is justme.org, which is a variation on Just Me, but it's using ZJUZDME. Instead of just, it's just. I just felt do crazy things.
You have a bit of a quirky sense of humor too, don't you? You might as well admit it now.
I do. Yes,
Yeah,
I won't even try to deny it. No. So via the website, there are links to emails, to contact forms. They can write to paul@justme.org. Go to the website to see how it's spelled, and you'll find it. I'm on various social media. You can find me anywhere. Also, if you have troubles writing Just Me, go to naturistfiction.org. I'm there as well.
Yeah, and there's a link to get to your page from there. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're doing great work out there in the naturist community. Obviously, your naturist books, but also your non-naturist books. You're just a terrific writer, and it's been our pleasure to have had you on the show. And best wishes in all that you do personally, but also your work with naturist fiction and with Ted and Will. And let's definitely do this again, Paul. As more books come out, as another series comes out, or the next 50 books in your Crow series come out, whatever you want, just get in touch with us, and we'll get you back on. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you very much. And I'm very proud of being invited to this podcast. It's great to know that we're doing our best to promote the naturist living for all the right reasons. Trying to paraphrase you, but I'm failing at that marvelously, of course. And it's great to know that many people are doing their thing to promote naturism, nudism, no naked life, whatever. Like you, Jennifer, Lisa, everyone. Thank you. Keep it up.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it is close to living for all the right reasons. Never inappropriate, but, we've never been inappropriate when we have our clothes on either. It's, as I mentioned before, you can be grotesquely inappropriate when you're fully dressed, right?
Yes, this is why I consider naturism something to be between your ears as well.
Yeah.
It's in the mind. Well. It's not just the naked body, it's the naked mind.
Yeah, very well said. Well, again, great to have had you on the show today. Let's definitely do this again. And we don't need to wait forever. And even if you don't have time for a full interview, we can get you on to, 5-10 minutes. Hey, Paul Z. Walker's with us. He has another book or a series to promote. And let's do that down the road. Again, we've been talking to Paul Z. Walker, check out his website. I'll give this a shot here, Paul. Is justme.org.
Wonderful.
That cool?
Yes,
Okay.
congratulations. I'll send you a diploma.
All right. Author Paul Z. Walker. Paul, go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much. Talk to you. Bye, Si. Bye, Frank.
Thank you. The terrific Paul Z. Walker. I will just say this. If you haven't read a Paul Z. Walker book yet, then you're missing out. I would get my hands on one as quickly as possible, a physical book, an ebook, whatever he sells. Get one and enjoy it to the max. A very terrific writer. Lots of content out there, and of course he's big in the naturism community, writes naturist fiction, collaborates with Will Forrest, Ted Bunn, and the naturist anthologies. And we thank Paul Z. Walker for all of his time on today's show. Don't forget to hit us up on Twitter. Also write to us anytime, naked, nudist, and naturist at gmail.com. We always enjoy hearing from the listeners. We always write back, and lots of great conversations going as we enjoy our time together on this show. Well, thank you for being with us on Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, episode 41 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist. Have a great clothes-free day.